So we are live now, and I can see that some of you already changed your name into the name plus the last three digits of your paper ID. I want to see all of you to having the paper ID here on the screen. So we will start the session after 2 minutes. Hello everyone, good morning.
Hello,
Good
good
morning.
Good morning.
morning.
Yes, so we are going to start the session in good morning, everyone. Again, I am Dr. Shakir. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to this international conference on social science management and technology. The conference is organized by International Institute of Academic Research and Publication in collaboration with Glovento. We are fortunate to have such a good team of participants and researchers joining this conference together with the reviewers, and I will serve as as a chair in this session in this conference. And as a chair, I will have the responsibility to assess every presentation together with our reviewers, and based on that assessment, uh, the good presenters, the good presentation in the good papers will get an award in the form of certificate. And the assessment criteria for this award is quite simple and straightforward, which include the quality of the papers, the contents, the presentation skills, time management skills, how you engage the other audiences, how you respond to other audiences, and how you uh, ask question and other things. I hope that all of you already received the program schedule and other additional instructions for this session. And please, you need to note that for each presentation, you will have only 10 minutes, It's quite short time, I know, but we need to manage the presentation within this time, 10 minutes limit. And you will have 2 to 3 more minutes in the Q&A session. You can come to join the Q&A session at the end of the session. First, we need to complete all the presentations, and at the end we will have Q&A session. You can join the Q&A session, ask your question, give your suggestion. Even if you have questions other than presentation or other things, you can ask me in the Q&A session. So for those who already submitted their pre-recorded the recorded presentation, and they don't want to present it, we will upload their presentation to our YouTube channel, and you can see it on the YouTube channel later. I will share the link in the chat box. You can go to our YouTube channel and you can see there. You don't need to play it again here on live Zoom live, yeah. So, uh, yes, let's start the session. But before that, I think it's quite important. I need to open my PPT and introduce you with the organization who organized this conference. Let me check my PPT. Here is my PPT. Here. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So this is IIARP, International Institute of Academic Research and Publication. IIARP is a dynamic conglomeration of academia and professional, which is dedicated to promote research and innovation, making a significant global impact. Our primary objective is to unite researchers and professionals from around the world, fostering intellectual development and facilitating opportunities for networking and collaboration. This organization is actively engaged in different academic activities, including networking events, meetings, conferences, workshops, and research projects. Additionally, we are committed to publish cutting-edge research publication and recognize outstanding achievements of scholars through academic awards and scholarships. These are some of our associates and partners, including Glevento, Conference LS 360, and manuscript edited by IIARP. So, what basically we do, we are engaged in world class networking, connecting with the global community of researchers, scholars, and industry experts. We are engaged in national and international conferences, and uh, in these conferences, you can participate in cutting edge discussion and present your work on a global stage. And here is an opportunity as a participant that you can share your research findings with the world through our esteemed international peer reviewed journals. So IIARP is a worldwide and renowned organization dedicated to fostering global scientific and academic collaboration, and with a rich history of organizing international national conferences. IIRP has made a significant contribution to different fields of study. Our extensive network spans across numerous countries, including South Asian countries, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, also Egypt, East Asian countries, including Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan as well, and other countries, Nigeria, Philippines, Russia, Singapore, Sri Lanka, USA, UK, Canada, and many more. So, as a participant in this conference, IIARP and Glevento conference, you will have the opportunities to publish your abstract and the abstract proceeding book with the DOI number, and you can also publish your paper, your manuscript in the international peer review journals that are indexed by Google Scholar and Doge, and you can also, if you want, you can publish your paper in Scopus and Web of Science journals. We have published a lot for our previous participants, conference participants. You can take our team support for editing your manuscript and making it polished for publishing in these journals. This is our exclusive help for those who really don't have time or they just want this service for editing and preparing their manuscript. We can provide this service. Later, I will share the team contact number. These are some of the pre-requirements which I don't want to mention here. If you are really interested to publish your paper in Scopus Index or Web of Science Index journal, some you need to provide some required things, documents. So for those things, I will share our publication team contact number, and later you can contact the team, and the team will guide you what to prepare, how to prepare a manuscript, and what is required. All those things you will be guided. So this I will share later. These are some of the examples of how did we publish for our conference participants in Scopus Q1 and Web of Science Index journals. These are some of the past conferences in different places. And these are the online conferences. You can visit our website www.iiarp.org to explore more. And one last thing I need to mention that in order to be environmental friendly, we will not print the certificate in the conference proceeding. We will just send it to your email in the soft copies, and you can just download and I use it. This is I think something very important we need or we all need to do. Yeah, that's all from my side. And now I'm coming to where the attendance list. Let me check. This is attendance, and for the attendance, I will just call the last three digits of your paper ID and the author name, and you can come to share your screen with your PPT and start present your paper. And you need to keep in mind we have 10 minutes for each presentation. You need to complete your presentation within 10 minutes time. So the first paper ID is 467, and the author is Maya Livano.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so I'll start my presentation. Actually, I thought we have a bit more minutes, so I made too many slides, so I'll wrap up my presentation. Can you see the screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, then I'm going to start my presentation. Is that okay? Yeah, okay. So my title is Development of Standards for Assessing the Educational Competency of University Faculty. And my name is Maya Iwano from Yamaguchi University in Japan. And we have 4 members in the team. This is a slide to introduce my team member, but actually I don't really have time. But all of the members are working in Japan in a kind of teaching and learning management office. So that's where our idea for this research comes from. So I'll slightly go through why we started this project. In Japan, faculty development, which I'll call FD in this presentation, is mandatory. We have to do it now in graduate schools since 2007 and undergraduates from 2008. So there were many researches done in Japan about the FD, and all kinds of materials and research are published now. So what we wanted to do is, as we have many, many researchers in this area, we wanted to develop educational competency FD map. The image is like in the bottom of this slide, but it's a kind of framework that the faculty member can use to see what kind of level they are, and if they can search what kind of level they are, they can select what kind of FD they want to or have to attend to. So I didn't really put everything in English, but main part is in English so that you can see. This is a research done from the Ministry of Education, which we call MEXT. And FD, as it's, we have to do it now, or the university have to do it now, but we don't really have many staff like, I don't know in other countries, but in US, there are many teaching and learning offices, maybe in each university. But in Japan, we have only 27%, I'll put the laser, 27% of the university have this kind of office and a staff working there. So basically, we have to, quite a lot of university have to get like a researcher or a staff from outside. So if they want to do the FD, they hire just a person to do the lecture for that time. And for what they do for the FD actually is mainly for the like teaching or class content. So this is a quite main thing that is done in Japan now. And for the framework, actually, there is a kind of framework that was published already, but this is just a framework. So if this is a micro level and there is a middle and macro level. But what you have to do is the teaching and learning office has to fill out this black, white, well, opens area so that other faculty member in the university can use this FD map. But what we wanted to create is not a FD map that is for each university. It's a FD map that could be used for all of the faculties in Japan. And for the higher education like methods, we have many like books and also video methods that are already published or online. So many faculty member can access this. But what we found out is faculty struggle to find out which book they will use or which video movie they should watch. They kind of are not satisfied sometimes if the level is too low or too high. So that's why we started to create this FD map. And here I'm going to call our FD map EC FD map. And we followed 5 steps to create this. So first, to design the ECFD map, we had to go through all these past researches which were done, and like books and movies, and kind of design the framework. Then to decide the level, which is step 2, we did a survey to faculty members to see what kind of level they are and what kind of level we have to set in the CFFD map. Then we made up the draft of the ECFD map. And then we had a discussion in a roundtable in an educational studies conference, which was held in Japan. So we had other teaching and learning office people to see this draft of the ECFD map, and then we had a discussion about it, and then we finalized the map. So this is the design, the framework of the map. I don't really have time to go through everything, but we focused on how to manage the class. I think faculty members have many things to do in our times. You have teaching, research, and maybe also supporting the university students' school life. But here, for this ECFD map, we focused on how to manage the classes. So the category is like how to design the class. And for the designing the class, as you can imagine, you have a course level, which is like in Japan, it's 15 classes in one course, and then each class individually. So you have to design the course and each class as well. And also implementation, like how you manage the class. And then at the end, you do the review and evaluation. In Japan, after the course is finished, we have a survey which the students answer. So faculty members have to see what kind of results they get from the students, and then they can improve their class as well. So the framework was designed like this. And then, which is step two, we had to think about the levels. And for here, we created a questionnaire. I didn't write down, but we did it in 4 universities, and we had, I think, nearly 70 people answered the questionnaires, and we decided the level for the framework we have designed. So the category is design and so on. And then we decided to make the level 0 to level 3. Level 0 is people who just got the contract for a university teacher. And then level 1 is maybe 1 and 2 years after they are working. Level 2 is what we want all the faculty member to be. And then level 3 is more like advanced level. And we showed this draft in the roundtable, and we got really many things from the teaching and learning office people, like about levels and things. So we created ECFD map itself. And what was new, we had to add level 4, which is a level that you need support from the university because you are using data as well. And also we created a description part because on the survey and the roundtable, people said it's quite difficult to understand the words. So we should write down what it means and what this level is going to go for. So to wrap up, well, we made up this ECFD map and we decided all the levels and we put the description and also the glossary so that people can understand it easily. And for the conclusion, actually, as we designed this, we want to spread this in Japan and get more feedbacks to improve it if it's necessary. And also, we want more individual faculty members to be available to access this framework to use it in their daily use. And if possible, as we have many researches and books and videos, maybe for each level, we will write down which book is good for that level, and that makes more easily for the faculty members to access the books and videos and so on. And also we can use the methods that other people have already created. That's all for my presentation. Thank you very much.
So much for sharing your research findings, and we will have Q&A session at the end. Uh, so you can come to
Yep.
join the Q&A.
Thank
And
you.
now we are moving toward the next presenter. The next presenter is 482, and The author is Margaret Xu. Are you available?
Yes,
482.
I try to share my PPT.
Yes, please.
So can you see it?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. My subject today will be adapting phase, and we are going to discuss about the social and economic change to shape the religious organization in Taiwan. And this is Margaret, and there will be 7 agendas. I will try to move as soon as I can. Then regarding the introduction, actually there'll be 4 parts. And you can see that Taiwan is very different from the other country, mainly because of before World War II and after World War II, the political party doesn't have the strict control regarding those religious organizations, especially when we have the implementation of martial law start from 1949 to 1987. Thus, those religious organizations didn't have the chance to develop their social participation actually. But starting from 1991, they doesn't have the chance because there's a Social Impact Act and a Welfare Act, so they can start to register. As you may see on the left-hand side, there will be 27.9% of the different religions in our country. And the motivation of this research work mainly focus on how those religious organizations transform from a nonprofit organization to social enterprise when they start to adopt those commercialized products and the spiritual merchandise as well. And how can they survive because the identity of traditional religious organization is different from is very different from those social enterprises. And research purpose is just want to find the balance between the traditional religious value and then when they try to have those merchandise on the market, is there any difficulty or struggle in terms of identity? And the research purpose and the second part will be the research questions, as I have just mentioned, when those religious organizations try to have some commercialized products and what's the reaction to their organizational structure. So the literature where I'm going to focus on 3 parts. Number 1, I'm going to examine through the definition of societal sector. As you may see, in the middle part, it's a nonprofit organization, and they have the collaboration with the first sector, the government, the fourth sector community, and the second sector will be private market. And now they have so many collaboration, and do they lose their identity as a pure religious organization, especially as a nonprofit organization? And number 2, we are going to use this theory to examine, do they move from traditional nonprofit to a little bit more for profit? And of course, there will be 3 major features of social enterprise. Number 1, they will have 4 bottom lines mission. There will be environmental, social, economic, as well as the culture. And of course, they usually adopt the business model as well as measure the technique and knowledges to operate those organizations. But they will not relieve those profits to shareholder or stakeholders. So they are just for the social goods. The methodology of this research work has been in-depth interview of 6 temples. We try to interview the chairman or the board of trustee as well as the staff of those temples and to check their spiritual products they have seen get involved and what kind of activities they have been operate since they are transforming. And actually, we define through the data analysis. Now our religious organization has much more like rooted in the daily life. They are no longer religious centers only. Instead of, they are much more like the community center, and they have different diversified development instead of pure faith and worship. And you may see that Taiwan is really, there's a lot of temples in our country. That's more than 15,000 actually. It's much, even more than those convenience store in our country. And currently they have three domains of spiritual products. There will be a ritual-based, objective-based, experience basis. I'm going to make it quick. The ritual basis is pretty much like something of brazen lamp or donation or streak, that kind of. And the objective base will be the lucky amulet, the bracelet. Okay, and some of the experience is going to provide the experience to those believers, and instead of they can get the emotional comfort. So taking Foguangsan as an example, this is the biggest Buddhist institution in our country, was founded in 1967. There are more than 200 temples around the world, and they do have the social mission. So they promote humanistic Buddhism, they promote Buddhist culture as well, and they even enter different industries like education, tour, culture, medical. Now they have 6 million members around the world. So that's a lot of donation from the international stage. And the foundation like this is so big, they still considered as a nonprofit organization when they implement so many business models. So those profits is not go back to individual, of course, they're still for the social goods. But consider they are having 6 million members. So how can they operate accordingly with the expectation of the public? And the research finding of this work have several. Like we do see they do move from the religious organization to a social enterprise. If we use the theory of social enterprise to examine them, and they do transform by adopting social innovation, because through that they can strengthen seniority and deep gratitude in faith through meaningful spiritual products for those believers. And the research finding will be 5 of them, that some are being transformed into an institutionalized organization, when some of them stay in the nonprofit organization. And there's a lot of cooperation between different sectors. However, there's no strict law from the government, from the public, from those individuals to ask them to transform. Even they collect a lot of donation, and they have involved with some merchandise as well. So the conclusion of this research is going to define them. Some of the small and local temple, they are, even they have some business products, they have some spiritual products, but they are much more like a traditional nonprofit. So they, with the income, generate activities and stay in this position. And when some of the middle-sized temples and religious organizations, they are much more semi-institutionalized. So they are much more like the social enterprise. When those large foundations like Chiji, like Foguangsan, they have entered different industries and they are fully institutionalized. Although there's no requirement from the government or from the public or even from the other organizations, I think they are transforming into a different organization. And the government of Taiwan should have something or some policy to do with them, because not every single one believe their financial statements, and that we need to know their usage about those donations. And of course, those spiritual products, it's meet with the need of the market barrier. And that's a lot of believers that are willing to pay and buy those stuff. However, I think as a nonprofit organization, those institutionalized rules should be applied. Thank you very much. This will be my presentation, and thank you for your listening.
Thank you for sharing your research finding. We will have Q&A session later. You can join, and let me uh, move to the next presenter. That's 487, and the author is HCT Asifa. Are you available? 487. 487.
Yes, sir.
You want to present, or you already sent
Yes,
your video PPT?
I'm going to present.
Okay,
I'm
please.
going to share my PowerPoint presentation for a while.
Yeah, please. Okay. 7.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Okay, okay. Okay, good morning to everyone. In this prestigious international conference, it is a great pleasure to be part of this academic event. I am Siti Asifa Ahmed Faharuddin. Today, I'm going to present my paper entitled The Relationship Between Screen Time and Reading Habits of grade 1 to 3 students of Mindanao State University Integrated Laboratory School, a correlation study. For this paper, I am the main author. I currently finishing my MA in Education, major in Reading, and currently holds a position of Department Head Municipal Environment and Natural Resources Officer of the local government unit of Bayang. My co-author is Dr. Venus Permasana, who is with us today, is an associate professor and faculty member of Mindanao State University Iligan Institute of Technology. She is well published and she has been a peer reviewer in international journals, and she is also my thesis advisor. And this is my abstract of our paper. And for the introduction, this study examined the relationship between children's screen time behaviors and reading habits among early grade learners at Mindanao State University Integrated Laboratory School. And for the problem statement, this study aims to address the following research question. And for the methodology, this study used a descriptive correlational research design to determine the relationship between screen time and reading habits among children. And for the results, reveal that screen use was highest at 1 to 2 hours per day, with minimal prolonged use beyond 3 hours, while daily reading was more common in grade 1 and 2 but declined in grade 3. And for the discussions, we have here the demographic profile of the respondents in terms of age, gender, and socioeconomic status. For the respondents' profile by age, table shows that the age distribution majority fall within the early primary school years, particularly age 7 with a 31.4%, and for the age of 8 years old with the 29.1%. This indicates that the study largely represents children at the critical stage of reading development. A substantial proportion are also aged for the 9 years old, with 23.2%, further emphasizing that most respondents are dealing with the children in the early to middle elementary level. And for the gender, table shows that the gender distributions of the respondents is nearly equal, with female respondents with 50.56%, slightly outnumbering male respondents 49.44%. And for the respondents profile by gender distribution by grade level, the chart shows that in grade 1, there are slightly more boys, 54%, than girls, 46%. In grade 2, the number of girls, 64%, in higher than boys, 36%. While in grade 3, boys, 56%, again outnumber girls, 44%. Overall, the gender distribution across grade levels is fairly balanced, though each grade shows small differences in the number of boys and girls. And for the profiles by socioeconomic status, the charts shows that incomes distribution among respondents were 69% earned between 10,000 to 20,000 per month, reflects a predominantly lower income socioeconomics profile. We have here a respondent screen time profile. We have here a weekday and weekends. On a weekday, during weekdays, the data shows that most respondents, 40.2%, spend 1 to 2 hours on screen daily, suggesting moderate usage typical of balanced digital habits. Meanwhile, 29.8% spend less than an hour. About 26.5% use screen for 2 to 3 hours. Overall, the findings imply that most respondents maintain a moderate level of screen exposure, balancing technology use with other daily activities. On weekend, shows that most respondents spend 1 to 2 hours or less than 1 hour with 34.5% on screen activity during weekend. Meanwhile, 22% spend 2 to 3 hours and only 8% exist in 3 hours. We have here the table, consolidated table for mean and standard deviations of screen time responses. The table shows that the consolidated data across grade 1, 2, and 3 reveal a clear development pattern in how young learners use or respond to digital screens and gadgets-related activities. For grade 1 learners, consistently show higher means in items related to gadget dependency. For grade 2 learners, show slightly more balanced responses, and by grade 3, learners demonstrate more mature patterns with higher means in items related to awareness. The table for mean and standard deviation for reading habits responses. The table shows that the grade 1 learners consistently show the highest means across most of the 20 study reading habits indicators to grade 2 and 3. The mean values generally decrease in several core reading behavior indicators, showing a gradual decline in intrinsic motivations and consistency of reading habits. And for the overall mean standard deviation for student screen time responses and for the reading habits responses, the overall means table shows an increased pattern from grade 1 to 3, indicating that older learners report more awareness and slightly more positive behavior regarding screen time. For the grade 1 has the lowest mean, suggesting stronger tendencies towards a gadget use, occasionally dependency, and less regulation. By grade 3, students demonstrate slightly more controlled screen time habits reflected in the higher overall mean. The comparison between the overall mean results, the data shows that the screen time behavior among grade 1 to 3 learners are moderate with means ranging from 2.73 to 2.90. And the comparison of the screen time and reading habits by grade level. The bar graph shows a clear pattern in which reading habits consistently score higher than screen time behavior across all three grade levels. And for the consolidated comparison among age group with screen time and reading habits, the consolidated table reveals a gradual increase in mean screen time scores as age increases. Younger learners age 6 to 7 display lower screen time mean 2.70 to 2.77, while older learners age 10 to 11 shows higher screen time means 2.98 to 3.05.
Sorry
The
for
results,
interruption. You have 2 more minutes. Please conclude it. Thank you.
okay, shows that the correlation between screen time and reading habits negative and moderate for both and female learners. We have here the digital use by learners grade 1 to grade 3, parental regulations of the screen time across grade level, and purpose of gadget use across grade level, and frequency of the reading habits across grade levels, frequency of reading habits across grade levels, the spent of reading across grade level, time spent of reading across grade level, material used for reading across grade levels, motivations of reading across the grade levels. The table shows the distinct for grade 1 learners, the strongest motivation in learning new things, followed by fun and enjoyment. And I think this is the conclusion. The study reveals a consistent trend. Screen time increases while reading engagement declines from grade 1 to 3. And that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your research finding. And you can join the Q&A session at the end of the session. Yeah. Let me see the next participant. The next participant is 494, and the author is Lee Run Yang.
Okay. Okay. Let
You
me
want to present your
show my
paper?
slide. Yeah. Yeah. I would like to present. Um, okay. Can you see my slides?
It's sharing, still sharing.
Sure. Can you see?
Yes, please go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Um. Uh. Good afternoon, session chair and everyone. I'm with Department of Business Administration of Tencon University, which is in Taiwan. And my topic of presentation is impact of green technological innovation on new product development performance and moderating role of project type. Um, this is my outline. I'll start with introduction and including research background and motive, and then present my research hypothesis. I will talk about how we develop this hypothesis, and then methodology, and finally I'll present the expected result because it is an just a proposal ongoing research. Okay. The pressure of environmentalism of investors and clients and environmental regulations has caused many firms, particularly in the manufacturing industry and high-tech industry, uh, to enhance green innovation to increase productivity and reduce waste generation from the production process. And green innovations are the most effective way to enhance environmental management performance and meet environmental regulations. And many outstanding uh, and outstanding green innovation performance can also be improve corporate image. So, green technological innovation plays an important role in supporting the strategic goals of new product development. Um, Although innovation appears to be associated with new product development, research has poorly explained the role of green technological innovation in achieving environmental, social, and governance, which is ESG issues in new product development performance, and the lack of clear evidence regarding the value of green technological uh, innovation may be the reason why the implementation of green technological innovation appears limited. Uh, the primary objective of this research is to explore the impact of green technological innovation on new product development performance. And the second objective is to assess whether the influence of green technological innovation on product development performance is moderated by project types. This means that we want to know if the impact of green technological innovation on new product development performance depends on project type. Um, we will collect project level data rather than organization no data. And we will get data in the Taiwanese high-tech industry, and we will not investigate international project, only local projects. And for research hypothesis, we did research literature review, and based on the results, we developed two hypotheses. The first one is our green technological innovation positively influences new product development performance. The second is the influence of green technological innovation on new product development performance depends on project type. And for methodology, we plan to get more than 200 project data. And as mentioned earlier, the project data we will collect focus on Taiwanese high-tech industry, and new duplicate company information will be collected. And for the respondents, we will ask senior professionals involved in a project to answer the question. So we hope the respondents should have a work experience about more than 20 years work experience. We develop question of the questionnaire based on previous research. The variable includes green technological innovation, new product development performance. We also categorize project into different project type. We use a 6-point response scale in the questionnaire. And in order to make sure the content validity is okay, besides literature review, before we distributing the questionnaire, we will interview with 5 practitioners. As mentioned earlier, these professionals should have more than 20 years of relative experience. And we ask them to pretest the clarity of the question. We want to make sure everyone can answer this question, particularly the professionals in the industry. And we will make sure the construct validity is good. We will use CFA, which is confirmatory factor analysis. And for reliability, we will evaluate Cronbach alpha for each construct. The value should be more than 0.7. And we will use SEM, structural equation modeling, to assess the variables of the framework. And we will use multi-group analysis to analyze the moderating effect. And here is the expect results. We expect that according to the analysis result, new product development performance can be improved with higher level of green technological innovation. We also expect that an influence of green technological innovation on new product development depends on project type. And we will investigate opinion from different perspectives in order to not to avoid only one party prevail the opinions. Okay, this is my presentation. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much for sharing your presentation. And we will have Q&A. You can join that later. And now let me
Okay.
see the next presenter. The next presenter is 456, and the author is Haya Al Madroom. Are you available? 456. Let me check. 45. 37. 456. 456. 456 is not available, so we will move to the next one. That's 457, Shuk Al Zarwani. Are you available? It's also maybe a video presentation. You can see that on our YouTube channel. So the next is 462, A. Abdul Rahman from University Putra, Malaysia. Are you available? A. Abdul Rahman. Not available. Also a video presentation, maybe. And the next is 463, Ki Hyun Jang from KNU, South Korea. Are you available? Okay, it's not available. 465. The next one, Eileen Go. 465, paper ID. Eileen Go. Charter School of Wellington. It's also not available. Maybe a video presentation. Okay, the next presenter. Am I audible?
Yeah. You're
Okay,
audible.
thank you. Okay, the next presenter is 466 and is Srinivasa.
Yeah, I'm available. Just
Okay, please share your screen.
1 second. Okay. Um, okay. I have here. Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Let me turn on the video as well. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. Good morning. So this presentation describes a production validated predictive maintenance architecture integrated with Oracle Fusion Cloud using externally trained machine learning models. Essentially, this study focuses on scalable enterprise integration rather than isolated predictive modeling. And about myself, my name is let me put it in. Yeah, my name is Srinivas. Okay, sorry, 1 second. Sorry, I have some issue with my computer. Yeah, okay. Let me share again. PowerPoint. Sorry, sir. My name is Srinivasan Narayanan. I have overall 24 years of industry experience in Oracle and manufacturing business transformation program. So my primary roles are business requirements validations, implementations, and primarily supply chain solution architecture. Second, let me presentation. Yeah. Okay. Got messed up. Yeah, I'm just opening my presentation. So, yeah, abstract. So, so this study addresses the architecture implications of Oracle's deprecation of native IoT services in way back 2023. Also, we propose a decoupled predictive maintenance architecture in which machine learning models are executed externally, while Oracle Fusion Cloud remains the transactional system of record. So the integration is achieved using event driven REST services and rule based orchestration. The framework is validated through 18-month multi-site deployment which covers 847 critical assets. Empirical results demonstrate strategically significant reduction in downtime and measurable financial impacts. Problem context. Come on. So, in manufacturing environment, the unplanned equipment downtime imposes substantial economic losses. So traditional maintenance strategies are insufficient in for complex and interconnected production systems. Predictive maintenance offers a data-driven alternatives. However, so the enterprise ERP systems are architecturally optimized for transactional integrity, not for high frequency analytical workloads. So this creates a structural integration challenge. And the research gap. So what is the research gap here? The existing predictive maintenance research primarily focuses on algorithm development, remaining useful life estimation for an asset, and anomaly detection. Limited attention has been given to enterprise integration within ERP environments. Furthermore, no prior work documents a scalable Oracle Fusion Oracle Cloud implementation following IoT service deprecation. So this study addresses that gap. So what is my research objective? The objective is to design and validate a scalable integration architecture that separates predictive intelligence from ERP transactional processing while preserving governance and operational integrity. So this is the system architecture. So it consists of you know uh, sorry, consists of machine learning model training and uh, it will connect to the external IoT platform and also through which the industrial equipments. So these two, the IoT platform and equipments provide input to the machine learning model. From there the events gets generated. From there it goes to, once the basically the events are whether uh, uh, yes, the particular asset is due, is reached for service. So that is an event actually. It creates maintenance work order through REST services in Oracle. From there the work order gets created and it gets executed actually. And methodology. So telemetry data was collected over 18 months, generating 2.3 terabytes of historical records. A total of 127 features were engineered, combining ERP derived contextual variables and high frequency sensor signals. Three complementary machine learning models were trained and validated as well. As we have already talked about, the the model governance was implemented using structured version control and hyperparameter optimization. All models were deployed in production in inference environment. So as we have already explained, the event driven integration, you can see the integration follows the event driven architecture principles. When predictive failure probability exceeds predefined threshold, a structured event payload is generated. Oracle Fusion Cloud consumes the event, evaluates against maintenance policies, and automatically initiates corrective workflows. This maintains a transactional governance while enabling near real time responsiveness. And our empirical, after we deploy these models, it produced statistically significant improvement across operational metrics. For instance, the unplanned downtime went down by 36%, so does the maintenance cost by 33%. Also, the emergency event also gets reduced by 64%. And at the same time, the cumulative return on investment over 18-month research is 457%, while statistical significance confirmed at p-value below zero point zero 0.01. So when we evaluate the architecture, there are certain ERP system which has got embedded machine learning, and in my model, it is decoupled machine learning because the machine learning algorithms, IoT sensor, everything is outside of the ERP system. So how do we evaluate? For example, in the case of embedded ERP, it is limited scaling, but whereas decoupled ML in our model, it is independent of scaling. It is the external machine learning model have no impact on the size of the organization, size of the plant, or number of equipments which are put on the ERP system. And again, the embedded ERP system constrained to the vendor and their own, IoT devices, softwares, as well as machine learning models. Whereas in the decoupled environment, we can choose the best of breed models. And also in the embedded one, the risk is shared because we have the shared resource within the same system. The risk is more. If anything breaks, to have the ripple effect. Whereas in the decoupled model, the issue is the fault is isolated to either to external machine learning model or ERP systems. And so, what are the contributions of this? This study contributes to the predictive maintenance literature by introducing a decoupled ERP machine learning integration framework applicable across enterprise systems. It can be my theory is based on Oracle. It can be used for SAP or QAD or other ERP systems. Also, it provides a production validated methodology for operationalizing predictive intelligence within ERP driven maintenance workflows. And empirical results demonstrates scalability and measurable business impact. Oh, conclusion. Sorry. Cool. So conclusion. So here, based on in conclusion, the predictive maintenance effectiveness depends not only on machine learning models. It's it's not only on machine learning accuracy, but on scalable enterprise integration architecture. Architectural decoupling enables innovation without compromising ERP stability. And yeah, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your presentation, and you can join the Q&A session later. Let me check the other participants. So we have 471, and the author is Shafida Shafia.
Hello, hi. Good afternoon.
Yes, please share your screen.
Okay, give me a minute.
471.
Okay.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Give me a minute. Wait a second. Okay. Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you for having me in the International Conference on Computer Science, Electrical Engineering, and Communication Technology. And thanks again to the chair host for sharing this session. I'm Nur Shafida binti Abu Shafian. This is my full name. And my author name is normally I use Shafida Shafian. I'm from Solar Energy Research Institute, the University Kebangsaan Malaysia in Malaysia. So for today presentation, I would like to share with every of you here a 3D model driven virtual reality environment for interactive solar energy understanding. So before we move on, let me introduce a bit of myself. So my professional experience, I started as a senior lecturer and institute fellow at University Kebangsaan Malaysia since 2023 until now. And before that, I was a postdoctoral fellow at Ewha Women University, Seoul, South Korea. And for the academic background, I'm also an alumni of a combined master and PhD from Ewha Women University, Seoul, South Korea. So my expertise, when I'm in Korea, my expertise focusing on the advanced semiconductor materials and optoelectronic devices such as like organic PV, thin film PV, perovskite, photodiode. And then I also have experience in the functional and responsive material and devices, like making the device in semi-transparent, making device as a color, a solar panel, like that. So this day, recently, like I moved towards an AI research. I start do the machine learning for chemical and material modeling. I also developed my own large language model, LLM application. Because as you guys know, we always use like ChatGPT, Gemini AI. So I also developed my own, and I also have another project which immersive and intelligent technology, including the VR and also AR. So for today, presentation is about the immersive technology, the virtual reality 3D asset. So this is the research background. So actually, this research started from a discussion with solar technology industry in Malaysia. When I come back on 2023, I met them and asked them like, what is the limitation in Malaysia? So we discovered that many Malaysians are still not fully aware of solar technology. So to increase the awareness, so the company opened the exhibition booth. So besides they are selling their solar product, they also provide explanation about the solar technology. However, the explanation are mostly like verbal or using a static image. So this method often boring to the customer, and we does not have the effective engagement with the customer. So what we propose as the solution is the development of the interactive application to improve the awareness in a fun and engaging method. So this application can provide a useful input and knowledge to the customer. So for the project development, we develop a virtual reality application for solar education. So the VR experience is very interactive, very engaging. It includes like a video, some of the reading panel, and the last one is the task-based activity. So this activity will help to measure the user awareness and understanding of the solar technology. But to develop this VR application, the most important thing is to develop the 3D model itself. So for this 3D model, so this is the abstract for this project, we design and we develop a fully 3D PV gallery asset for VR visualization, and we address the lack of the structured 3D asset that selling outside. We found like the normal 3D asset that's selling in some of the 3D store is very limited. So the objective is to create a coherent VR ready that combine the architecture design with the PV system component. And we want also to develop a simplified and very scale consistent 3D model that clearly represent the real PV system configuration. So the key contributions are we introduce a structure approach for building solar energy VR, and the design is simplified yet very realistic for the solar component integrated with an architectural setting. So we deliver this reusable VR ready asset that can support the understanding of PV system. So the introduction, we call our 3D asset as a PV gallery, photovoltaic gallery, because the PV, the photovoltaic system itself is very, include very multi-component. You have a lot in PV. So it's required the 3D visualization for clear understanding. Not everyone can easily understand what is PV. So the immersive VR is depend on the well-structured and scale consistent 3D asset. However, in the research area, what I found is not many researcher document their 3D asset development. They normally, present only the like usability test result, the evaluation test. No one document like how they develop the 3D asset. So these PV gallery 3D model assets were developed to integrate the architecture and the PV system into the VR ready environment. So what's the method? What's the problem statement? As I said previously, like most renewable energy VR application focus on the final experience. They doesn't show the how the 3D structure, what is the element they put in the 3D assets. And it's a lack of a clear workflow, like how its component is developed. And similar as I said previously, the uh, the commercial 3D model is poorly organized, and there is no standardized approach exists for developing the renewable energy specifically for VR-ready asset. So for the method, what uh, we are doing for now, we have 4 steps, including the concept development, which we sketch the initial idea, we define the roof form, we define the gallery, how the interior layout, how the PV component we should place. And instead of just making a 3D asset, we also put some cultural inspiration in that asset. So when people see, they will like amazed with the building. You know? And then after we have the initial idea, we develop the 3D modeling in the Blender software. It's just a polygon base. So we develop the exterior and also the interior of the building. And for how we include the PV gallery, the PV in that gallery is actually on the roof. We are using the flexible and transparent PV, not like a normal mounting PV panel on the roof. So this also, the 3D model also ensure the scale consistency and the very simplified geometry. So our VR application is not that heavy, not that big size, and not lag. So for the special organization, we have several rooms in our model asset. We start with the training room before they start the PV, and then for the interior itself, we divided the room into 3 connected zones. The
Sorry
entrance, the
for
gallery.
interruption. You have 2 more minutes. Please conclude it. Thank you.
Okay, so next we are using the Unity to assembly the 3D asset. So I will show you the result of our asset. This is the logo. PV stand for photovoltaic and gallery. And then we start the initial with the 2D sketch. You can see the geometry here, how the building is sketched. And then here is the 3D modeling. And for the exterior design, you can look on the top, the roof is consists of flexible PV. And also, if you can see the transparent here is actually a transparent PV. And the cultural that I said previously is the roof. If you can see here, the roof is consists of Malaysia's cultural roof, we call as family. And also the facade, the wall, we are using the Arabic floral pattern. So when people enter this application, they can be like amazed with like, oh, this is how we can use this PV like this, not the conventional PV mounting. So I will just show you how with the building, the 3D building. And then the interior consists of 3 zones, like I said before. This is the entrance where user can come and see the video, and then they will go to the gallery to read some of the information of PV. And this room also consists of the light penetrate from our transparent solar. And then another room, this is the pick and place room. So people, the user, after saw some video, they can have a gamified activity here. So the conclusion, what we achieve is we design a fully integrated 3D PV gallery that combine the architectural expression with realistic PV system component. And the contribution and impact is we provide the reusable, we can resell this asset It offer a framework for renewable energy design, and it also can support the future immersive learning and intelligent visualization research. So this 3D model is already registered in my IPO, Malaysia IP, uh, including the asset itself, the storyboard, and also the application. So thank you very much. I would like to acknowledge my university to give a trust and support for this project. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your presentation, and we will have Q&A session later. You can join that. And
May I know the QA session later at what time?
just after one presentation, we have the last, one more last.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I will stop sharing. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. And we have the last presenter is 495, Michael Groschel. 495. Paper ID 495. Yeah, please.
Yeah, thank you very much for the introduction. I hope you can see my presentation right now.
Yes, please.
Okay, here we go. My name is Michael Kröschel. I'm a full professor at the Technical University of Applied Science in Mannheim. I'm presenting the work of a very new project, and I present the first results. We are teaching in the field of information systems, so computer science, business informatics. And of course, it's a very important topic to discuss about. Sorry. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes, it's disappeared for me. Sorry.
You can reshare it if
Hmm. I don't know how to do it.
you can stop share and reshare. I think that's the best solution. Yeah, reshare now.
Okay, here we go.
It's okay now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So let me talk a short introduction about our agenda. I talk about the motivation and the traditional approach how to create these comics. And so we defined our research problem. And basically, I want to show our approach and our first prototype and how our system works and the first limited results. So the motivation, we talk about comics, and we focused on a topic about financial literacy. It's a common problem in all societies that there is low knowledge about financial literacy, and though it's an important topic for all level of education, and it maybe some try of topic that nobody is interested in, so you need a new approach. And so we decided to think about a very easy and accessible digital learning format, so called comics. You see at the right hand, you see a basic comic we use in our lectures. The traditional approach is that the creation of comics is a manual task and it's a take a lot of effort. You have to design, you have to make ideas, create creativity, and even the production takes a lot of effort. There are a few tools that can help you. I mentioned them, and the screenshots show about the Comixplain. It's, I think, in Austria based a tool. It's freely accessible, and you can create in a web-based editor, you can create your comics. That helps you a little bit, but it's of course limited because you have to create the ideas and all the stuff around by yourself. So we define the research problem that these template-based generators are limited. And of course, it's, as I mentioned, it's a lot of effort to do that manually. So our problem or our research question was, how can we create an end-to-end generation based on a very easy user prompting? And that was our idea, to create a prototype. So is it possible to design a fully automated controllable generation system for comics? So we mean an end-to-end generation. Just give the tool the idea, and finally you want to get completely useful comic. So we want, as it was a very new project. The first goal was to create a prototype to demonstrate and narrate the possibilities, if it is at least possible, and then we can go further steps to create more advanced topics. So the basic idea is very easy. We have a very low-level architecture. It's based on web-based Python Flask, and on the right-hand side you can see the basic structure of the project. It has a web interface, and the user only has to insert his prompt. For example, explain the concept of interest and compounding in our financial literacy example, and then the tool takes the idea, and his job is to create a fully comic. And of course, it's the topic to use AI. And finally, we created, we call it generative evaluative pipeline. It's a pipeline because it consists of different steps. So at the beginning, you start with an easy prompt, and then the AI, it's an API. We use a OpenAI API, but you can use all kind of APIs. So we have an abstraction layer to use that. So we create in the beginning 9 segments. So at the first 2 steps, they create a story. At the right-hand end, you can see it's not relevant in detail, but you see the prompt we use. So we take the user input and then send the prompt we provide to the API. And in the first step, we get a story based on text. And this story is validated automatically as well with the second prompt, so the evaluation prompt. And one of our tasks or one of the results are these very complex prompts that have to be refined several times. And when this validation, it's up to, I think it's 3 times done, and then we generate the panels. So our comic consists of 9 panels, and they are all generated separately. You can try to create a comic, the whole thing in one step, but it's has to be found that it's not easy to create that in one step. So it's better to create these panels individually and sequentially, and then these panels are also evaluated. And finally, these panels are assembled in that comic layout. In our example, we have one page consisting of 3 times 3 panels. And you see that example, you can here see it a little bit better, though what our limited results. So we can create fully automated 9-panel comic, and it's very cheap. We can about maybe $1, or it's not relevant. It's very cheap compared to manual creation, which may take thousands of dollars for one comic. That may be better and perfect, but I think for most of the educational environments, maybe a 90% solution or 95% solution created by AI fully suits the needs. And it takes about 260 to 290 seconds, though only a few minutes. Depends on the results of the evaluation and maybe sometimes the recreation of panels or stories, but it's very fast and very cheap. Though maybe you find that the comic is very basic, but that's the idea of a comic, that it has not to be a lot of graphic designs, but you have to be reduced to the main part and the main idea. Of course, you can enhance it by colors or different aspects. So, what did we find? A short discussion. Well, we had control end-to-end generation that really works. We can exchange in our modular architecture all kind of parts. We can maybe change the API, use different APIs. We can change or enhance the prompts. We can, of course, enhance the pages. We only have one page, but we can easily adjust it to maybe 2 or 3 times. Of course, you have to consider the API-based cost, but it's not too much. And of course, you can use, if you want, your local LLM, but we don't really care about it. It takes too much resources, so it's probably a better approach for the first prototype to use it, the API-based approach. I don't want to discuss these didactic implications, but it's really easy to create these comics, and you can use it for introduction into new topics, and I think it's fun for students. So what do we want to plan? Well, we have to enhance that, and you can of course try to increase the speed by parallelization, and of course we can try to optimize the cost, but they are basically very, very reasonable. We can add maybe multilingual support, when we can extend the prompting, and of course we can enhance it to multi-page comics. And we evaluated comics made by hand in our classes, but now we want to try to evaluate these AI-based generated comics in our real environment. So these are references, and later on I will be happy to answer your questions and discussions. So if you want to get the system, feel free to contact me, and I will be happy to provide it to you. So thanks for your attention.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your research. And now it's the time for the Q&A. We are done with all the presentations. And yes, all the participants here, you can ask your questions, or if you have any suggestions or any general question, we are here to discuss it. Yes, please. Even if you have questions regarding the conference, regarding the papers, regarding the publications, anything you want to ask, or certificate.
I have a question.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
to Maya Ivano. She was from the University of Japan and introduced the system. So very interesting. Thank you for sharing your work. So my question is, that program or these tasks are required to be done from every professor or lecturer, or is it completely free if they want to do it? Or because in Germany it's based in our law that every researcher can do whatever he wants, and that's sometimes a problem. It's nice to have, but sometimes it's a problem. So you can't force people to do that.
Okay, in Japan, I think it's the same. We can't really force people to attend the like seminar or things. But because when we get the money from the government, we have to tell how many faculty member attended the faculty development that the university has produced in that year. And if it's less than a certain number, we can't get the money from the government. So that's a bit of a power to use to force people to attend some courses or some faculty development seminars.
Okay.
But we really can't really force people to attend.
Yeah. Yeah, that's in my experience that usually the people who are interested in doing good lectures and good education, they participate in these programs, and the people who I'd say don't really care about the quality of their lectures, they won't done it or will not done it. Yeah.
Yes, that's actually the same. And we we want people, we have certain people who we want to be attend, but they really don't show up. But unless the number is less than the government things, we can't really force them to come. And we can't
Okay.
make the reason because your class is not really, the students are not satisfied, so please attend this course. We can't really say that to them. I think
Okay.
that's the
Thank
same.
you.
And
Yeah.
I asked some universities in like US and UK, and they say the same thing. So I think in other countries it's the same. You can't really, even though you know some people are not good in teaching, you can't really force them to come. And those people are still the problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any question from
Yeah, I
other
have.
participants?
Yeah, I have one question.
Yes, please.
Last month I presented a mm, uh, APN conference paper at Malaysia. I think you are the
Yes.
one who conducted actually. I think still my paper is not yet published. I asked for Scopus publication actually. I sent multiple reminders, says still under review the paper. Um, Actually, I kind of um, and, I don't know how long will it take to publish my paper after the
Actually,
conference.
yes, Scopus usually takes 4 to 5 or even 6 months. So
Wow.
your paper, I don't know. I need to check with my publication team. What's the status of your paper? Maybe it's under review and you need to wait for it. And we will push it, of course,
Okay.
to make it more quick. So
Thank you.
I think last time I shared the contact, so you are in contact with our publication team, am I right?
No, sir, I haven't received the contact last time. Also, I did not receive. I'm just responding to the conference email, the generic email.
No, I shared the WhatsApp number.
WhatsApp number. Could you do it again? Sorry.
Yeah, of course. Let me share it again here. This is the number. One of our
At the
team
time
members.
crunch, I kind of, I need some immediate help.
Yeah, it is the WhatsApp, like a fast, like quick response. You can get a quick response from this number, so you can add it and WhatsApp, and that will be helpful, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of our uh, team member from the publication, so will reply you and show you the status.
I think it was last month. Yeah, beginning of January actually. You know, right?
Yeah, it was January Malaysia conference, and I
Mm,
know, I remember you presented your paper, and I don't know, I will also check the status, but you need to add this number and keep in touch and you will know the status, and I will,
Okay.
of course, tell them to push the process.
Okay. Do I have to specify the paper ID, name? What should I
Yeah,
specify?
yes, please, the paper ID and your name. That's important. You need to mention.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Any question from other participants? If no question, then I think we need to conclude this session in thank you all for participating in this conference, and I hope that all of you enjoyed today's session, this virtual session. And for me, it was really a great experience with all of you and all the presenters having very good research ideas and their efforts for the best. All the papers' data was, of course, supported by robust methodologies and theoretical frameworks, achievable objectives. But still, I saw some of the papers that you really need to work on your methodologies, and you need to make all the things clear before submitting your manuscript to any peer review journal. That's usually the part that the method part that we receive paper from our conference participants. The method is not clear, the methodology is not clear, so the journal it leads to delay the paper, the manuscript processing process. So you need to pay attention to this aspect, this part of the manuscript. It's very important. I saw in your presentation, some of the presentations still the methods are not clear. Especially I can mention one paper 482 that you conducted the interviews, in-depth interviews, and uh, your data is based on qualitative methods, but I think that's not enough to mention just in-depth interviews, and you need uh, to mention all those things. How did you conduct this research, and how did you collect the data and analyze the data? All these things you need to mention in your manuscript before submitting it to any peer review journal, because it, of course, they will send it to two or three reviewers, and they will have comments for you, or maybe they just decline your manuscript. The reviewers, and if any one or two of the reviewer think it's not a good manuscript, then the editor will take a decision not in your favor. So you need to pay attention to all these things, especially your method section. That's very important. Okay, so some of the participants were, of course, not able to join this session, and they already sent their video PPTs, and we uploaded our to our YouTube channel. Here I'm sharing this link. You can go to this YouTube, and you can check the uploaded presentations here. Let me check. This is not the right one. Here is our YouTube. This is the link. You can have it for watching the other presentations in yes. But still, if someone didn't yet send their PPT, here I'm sharing the email contact, and you can send it here. Here in the chat box, you can see our email. That's the main contact for other queries as well. Yeah. And uh, based on the reviewers' reports, they reviewed your papers, abstracts, and my report as well. We will have a decision regarding the best paper and best presentation later, and we will share date certificate through email along with your other certificates and proceedings in the soft copies. We will send it to your email after this session, and you will get it through your email. Yes, that's all from my side. If still you have any other question, general question, conference question, publication question, you can ask me here, or I shared the contact WhatsApp number. You can add that number and you can ask anytime, 24/7. Yeah, no problem. Okay, and one more last request, if you can open your cameras with your smiley faces, and if I can take one group photo. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, few more, please. Thank you. Let me take a screenshot. So 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Yeah, that's all from my side. And if you still have any question, I'm here.
And do you have a contact number, sir? We want to
Yeah,
contact you for publication help.
yeah, that's the one I share in the chat box. That's the main contact for publication. Any other question you can ask, and this number is basically available 24/7. You can get your answer.
Oh, the 60, okay, the public, the number which you said, plus
Yeah,
611. Okay.
yeah, that one. And here is our email as well. I share in the chat box. Okay, so if no more questions, I think it's the time to say bye-bye and see you again in our next conferences.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Bye-bye.